This is such a fun guitar. Don't wanna let go, don't wanna let go, no, don't wanna let go. Has it ever occurred to you that you have enough guitars? I know, silly, right? But still, I mean, I feel like I'm at that point. Like, there's enough of a flavor variety here. There's the primary colors, there's the offset kind that like lots of pedals, there's P90s, Fellertrons, there's an ES type. I'm set. Except for Floyd Rose. Someday, maybe, but yeah, I'm good. Then you open Facebook Marketplace, because why wouldn't you? And a deal that's too good to pass comes up. Fuck. Okay, I just sold it an Electro. I guess there's an empty spot on the rack. I'll experience it and then sell it in a couple months. Why did I do this to myself? I don't even like SGs. I like the way they look, but they don't feel right, and this one's no different. For those of you who have never played an SG, it's a weird experience. It's very, very thin. Almost like a toy. The body is basically as thin as the neck itself, and that's even considering SGs already have thin necks to begin with, usually, and this one's no exception. It's a really thin neck. Not flat, not like a metal type neck, just a thinner Gibson type neck, if such a concept can be said to exist. Yep, it does feel Gibson-y, and it's so freaking light. Like, how does it even keep the strings moving for any length of time at all? But it does, and it does that very well. And there's no neck dive, which I believe is half meme at this point, and not an actual widespread SG tray that every single one shows, because I can't stress this enough. The neck is thick, and it goes on forever. It's like the Flintstones living room, only instead of a lamp and a couch and a lamp and a couch and a lamp and a couch and a lamp, there is a dot and a dot and a dot and a dot. Where am I? And a dot and a dot. I lost count. And a dot and a dot. Oh, there's a body. Yeah, that's another thing that feels weird about SGs. The neck is joined at the body like at the 34th fret or something, and then there's the cutaways, which are beveled and comfy, and there's not even a neck joint really. It just gets slightly thicker, and there's a body. So fret access isn't even a thought you have. It's just notes, and they're all equally easy to reach. But at least until you get used to it, an SG feels like it's going to break in half. It's so thin, which is stupid really, because, I mean, you never really assume the neck is going to suddenly snap in half or the headstock is going to separate spontaneously. Well, I said spontaneously. Then why should this thing fail? Well, I'm sure it's because I'm used to Les Pauls and Tellys, which I love, but they're dumb. Oh, and the worst part about any SG is how cramped the knobs are. Like, I like wrapping my pinky around the knobs or just flat fingering the thing in a hurry, but on this thing I have to do this silly pinch and turn, and it's just awkward. But that is all SGs. What about the Epiphone SG Classic P90s? Oh my god, what a fun guitar this is! You want to know how fun it is? Okay, the first thing I played on it, and I am not making this up, it was the Gummy Bears song, like the bouncing Disney Deadly Sin Bears. That it just came to me. I had never played that song before, but that's just what I started playing because this guitar it's just too much fun. You already have one with P90. I know. I that's even the reason why I never understood owning a Les Paul and an SG. It's basically the same thing, same scale, same pickups, same controls. It was even called a Les Paul for a while. Not the same guitar! And this Yamaha with P90s is a wraparound. The SG is completely different ball game. Also, what about neck pickup placement? Because when you look at the neck joint, the neck pickup needs to be further away from the neck compared to the Les Paul to make it fit and remain structurally sound. So even if they both had the exact same hardware and electronics, the neck pickup and the middle position would sound completely different. It's a completely different thing! Maybe I need an SG with humbucker. Oh, I haven't even mentioned the woods. Like, look at this thing. Have you ever seen anything this gorgeous? It's all exposed, almost nude. Suggestion. Feels so nice to the touch. The grain, the sudden feel. Red. Lost. Evil lost. Now, seriously, remember the old G400 days? How the wood looked like every single SG had been cut from this striped material that looked like some weird colored dough that had been pushed out of a huge flat toothpaste tube? Now this one looks like wood, mahogany wood, with open pores and a freely vibrating character. I love you. And the neck, oh, this thing feels spectacular to the touch, and it plays great. Do I notice a difference between maple top and full mahogany? No idea. Two manufacturers to consider, but even unplugged, it sounds nothing like a Les Paul, P90s or not. Not even like a junior or a special. And I know people get really hung up on fretboard material, but does it get much more gorgeous than this Laurel piece over here? 21 not at all Gibson looking frets perfectly finished with this elegantly bound piece of glory, delicately sprinkled with these unassuming dots. What? No, yeah, I know, it's 22 frets, but the 12th one had to be hammered back in. That's more like it. Did you need me to remind you that this was a Chinese-made guitar? I know, yeah, I also forget from time to time. Like, the knot is cut perfectly, fit and finish are great all over, kind of makes you think of a ooh, yeah. Yes, I did find a bit of a sloppy CNC job in one of the cavities, but they did something odd here, and there's some cables that mix and twist and in ways that I don't see a reason for, but the braids are nice, and the solder joints are clean, and the pots are full size, and okay, they're made in Korea, and the volumes are 500K linear. Dude, I mean, I get it. People think 500K is more gooder because more brighter, but which is fair until you touch the volume knob and it eats away at the treble. And kind of an unpopular opinion, but I like linear volumes. I do not control volume from my guitar. I do that from the amp, and then from the guitar I control how much I push whatever's giving me distortion, which makes much more sense, at least for an electronics geek like me, with a linear knob. But 500K on a single coil pickup and the pot is linear, like, I can't even do a treble bleed on this thing without having to replace the pots, because it makes everything weird, because the treble bleed tends to make an audio pot behave somewhat linear, so a linear with a treble bleed becomes sort of a reverse audio. Fuck it, I'll just wire this thing 50 style. It sounds good enough like that anyway. And oh look, an aluminum covered plate with no shielding whatsoever on the inside. Good. It's very quiet though, so I can't even complain about that. All in all, I love this guitar. I love how the buttons were not inspired by Gibson, or how the hardware goes beyond the crippling, traditionally bound sickness Gibson suffers from. Hardware that improves upon the functionality of the gems of yesteryear, but without looking tacky or gimmicky. I love the bright but beefy Epiphone P90 Pro pickups, which are supposed to emulate old school Gibson ones, from the all-nickel 5 magnets to the tin-plated brass base plates to the 18% nickel-silver covers, whatever that means. I thought this was just plastic. And I've never tried real vintage P90s, but these sound like everything the forums told me I should expect, meaning they are a creamy punch to the taint, and I love this guitar. All 24 3/4 inches of its snappy scale, and above else, I love its playfulness. That's the word. It's a playful guitar, one that doesn't evoke this or that specific song like Les Pauls and Strats do, but rather make you just play whatever big chord or basic riff and see what that gets you. Because it's not exactly on the treaded path like Les Pauls and Strats are. I find myself not even caring if a pedal is on or off. It's just raw mahogany, P90 goodness, and whatever level of gain there was when I plugged in is fine. I even forget at times what pickup I'm in, because all positions sound like fuck you. That's what this guitar sounds like. It sounds like fuck you. This is the most fuck you guitar I've ever owned. It makes me want to skip class, drink hobo wine, and play shitty punk rock. But I'm not 15 anymore, and I have enough toys as it is, and I mean tools. Yeah, I'm a musician, and these are tools to my craft, and fuck it. Who am I kidding? This would be a toy. A very fun, Gummy Bears song-inspiring toy. And so what? When did humanity become so uptight about adults having fun? When did we decide growing up meant being unhappy and worried all the time? Like, it would come as no surprise if it was because of every monarch ever trying to keep you plowing the soil until you either drop dead or were called to war, or religion trying to make you miserable so you don't even bother thinking and just do whatever they say in order to chase future fake happiness. It's likely a combination of both. Well, wake the fuck up. There's robots now, and your chances of going to war is slimmer than ever, and God doesn't give a flying fuck, so the least you can do is have fun. And this guitar is fun. So go buy one. Now. Buy this one even. I am going to sell it after all, but simply because my Yamaha Revstar does all my P90 duties wonderfully, and I'm already attached to it, and because I need that rack space for this Jazzmaster I spotted on Marketplace. Ah, you want some irony to end this? The review's over, by the way. This guitar is the cleanest I've ever found used, ever. Even cleaner than most new guitars at stores are. Why? It was basically unplayed. I even got the pleasure of peeling off the plastic of the back cover. By what I managed to gather when I went to pick it up at the guy's apartment, he got it as a last mid-40s hurrah in a lost fight to reclaim long-lost happiness or something, just a couple months before splitting from a long-term relationship and selling everything and moving both out and on. I almost backed out right then and there because I really felt bad for the guy, and like I kind of like thought of like trying to talk him out of giving up on life and shit. But then I realized there would be someone else right behind me to finish what I couldn't. So here it is, a fun, youthful guitar as a token and a reminder that life gives no fucks about you and you should accept failure way before it happens so that there's no ugly surprises. Which is what all surprises are after you lived long enough. Whatever. Good deal is a good deal.